A man-eater is how one neighbor describes a dog that went on the attack, leaving a woman in critical condition. According to Animal Care Services, that victim is one of the owners of the dog. Happened at an apartment complex on Patricia Drive near West Avenue. Katrina Weber shows us what that neighbor says set off the animal.
Snarling and salivating, this dog is definitely not happy. In fact, San Antonio police say it went on the attack, latching onto the arm of a 31-year-old woman.
All of her arm was just dangling by skin.
This woman, who wanted to hide her identity, says the victim is a friend of hers. She says the dog lived with that injured woman and her boyfriend and turned on the victim as she tried to keep it from biting someone else.
She went to stop the dog, and the dog attacked her.
When police and paramedics found her at the apartment complex near Patricia Drive and West Avenue late Wednesday night, she was bleeding heavily. She was rushed to a hospital in critical condition. Signs of the attack were still visible in the morning. Based on what the victim's friend and police tell us, this was not the first incident involving that dog. They say it has attacked before.
My friend was attacked by the dog, almost took his arm off.
Animal Care Services says it has no reports of previous attacks, but has issued the dog owner several citations this time, including not having proof it's vaccinated for rabies. It's also holding the pet in quarantine. But the victim's friend says she hopes the dog's days are numbered, that it will be put down.
He's a man-eater, and I'm thinking, what if it was a child?
Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Yo lo que pido es protección para el niño.
What I'm asking is protection for the child.
Que la mamá se mantenga lejos de él.
The mom would stay away from him because all the problem
es la mamá.
is the mom.
Asking for protection for the child. The grandmother of a teen accused of planning a mass attack at Rhodes Middle School revealed details about his life with his mother before he was arrested. That woman, through a translator, she described the boy as being abused and manipulated by his mother. The judge did order he remain in custody despite her pleas asking he be released to her. That teenager back in May was charged after he appeared on campus with a mask, camouflage jacket, and tactical pants. His mother, Ashley Pardo, also facing charges for allegedly buying him ammunition and tactical gear. Later at 6 o'clock, we're going to have more from his hearing today, including new details into his past arson case that will also be heading for a retrial. New details in a deadly Northwest Side shooting. A new report from police says the victim met the suspect because one of them was trying to buy jewelry. That's when the victim agreed to go with the suspect to Mardell Street to buy marijuana. It's not far from I-10 and Vance Jackson Road. Officers tell us when they arrived there, that suspect pulled out a gun and robbed the victim at gunpoint. When the suspect was walking away, police say the robbery victim pulled out his gun and shot the suspect. That man was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. It is not clear if any charges will be filed in this case. A man who tried to evade U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement by hiding in a tree in April will now be deported for the second time. You may remember this incident. A federal judge released Raul Ical to ICE agents to start the deportation process today. According to ICE, Ical is a Guatemalan national who faced federal criminal charges for illegally re-entering after being deported. Back on April 29th, Ical fled authorities during a traffic stop on the west side. He hid in a tree for at least 6 hours before he came down and was arrested. Lawmakers held their first special session hearing yesterday, focusing on disaster preparedness after the deadly Hill Country floods. Agencies like the Texas Emergency Management and TxDOT testified about the challenges they face and the resources they need, including more funding staff and helicopters. The hearing lasted more than 11 hours. The committee plans to visit Kerrville on July 31st to hear directly from locals and first responders. And we'll be there. Flood warning systems are at the top of the list for the special session. KSAT recently sat down with Rodney Madla, a Hill Country man who has more than 30 years working in wastewater management. He's developing a flood detection device that uses a float that warns of rising water levels. Madla says watching the destruction convinced him to take action.
Well, I'm a dad, so it was brutal.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, Madla walks us through how that device operates and why he thinks it will save lives. The Hill Country Arts Foundation in Ingram has been deeply damaged by recent flooding, leaving a beloved community landmark in ruins. It is right on the banks of the Guadalupe. Now neighbors are pitching in, shoveling mud, salvaging what they can despite millions needed for repairs. Some events will still go on as the foundation pushes forward. Visual Arts Director Rachel Lovelace says the community's determination to rebuild as strong as ever. TransGuide right now as we take a look around our city on this Thursday. 90 at West Military Drive. No major problems out there as we continue to look around our city. Happy to say no traffic tie-ups, but I gotta believe we're gonna hit triple digits today.
I just saw the preliminary Climo summary from the Weather Service, and it had 100 for our high temperature. I want to point out off to the west, a lot of cloud cover, especially into Terrell County, but nothing really moving into our area. We'll keep an eye on those storms over Mexico, but odds are against them moving into the KSAT 12 viewing area, Valverde County or Maverick County. What we're watching is an upper level swirl, counterclockwise circulation, little ripple in the upper level flow. Nothing significant, but a lot of moisture with it and some rain-making energy. You can already see the showers in the Gulf and especially along the Louisiana, Florida coastline, much of the Gulf Coast, honestly. Well, that rain is headed toward Texas. It's going to get here by about this time tomorrow and even a few hours before. Notice I have a 30% chance tomorrow afternoon and evening, actually a 40% chance tomorrow night, then still a 30% chance into Saturday. And then more opportunities as we get into next week. We're going to break it down for you at the latest Futurecast, which I think has a good handle on the situation in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. New at 5, Hulk Hogan, an icon in the world of professional wrestling, has died at the age of 71. Authorities say he was pronounced dead at a hospital after they responded to a morning call about a cardiac arrest. Hogan, the main draw for the first WrestleMania in 1985. He was a fixture for years. This is him at the Republican National Convention endorsing Donald Trump. He faced everyone from Andre the Giant to Randy Savage to The Rock in the ring. He won at least 6 WWE championships, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. A major meeting today between the Department of Justice and Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator. The meeting happened in Florida, where Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for her role in enticing and recruiting underage girls to be sexually abused by Epstein. ABC's Perry Russell in Washington.
A high-stakes meeting today in Tallahassee, Florida.
Do you have anything to say today?
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche walking into the U.S. Attorney's office to speak with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's convicted co-conspirator. Blanche is President Trump's former criminal defense attorney and says he wants to know if Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence and has been trying to get out on appeal ever since. Her attorney today.
We're looking forward to a productive day.
The Wall Street Journal reports Blanche and Attorney General Pam Bondi informed President Trump back in May his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files. The Journal reports other high-profile names are also in the Epstein files, but appearing in them is not a sign of wrongdoing. ABC's Catherine Falders questioning the president last week.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
She's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
Bondi now says nothing in the files warranted further investigation or prosecution, adding, as part of our routine briefing, we made the president aware of the findings.
The fact that he was informed and the decision was made to refuse to release the files smacks of a cover-up.
On Capitol Hill, as more Republicans call for the Epstein files to be released.
Just put everything out, make it as transparent as you can.
Republican Congressman James Comer leading the charge for the House Oversight Committee, issuing a subpoena to depose Maxwell and plans to subpoena the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files.
We're not doing that for any political reasons. When we go home and listen to our constituents, they're very interested in the Epstein files.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has questioned whether Maxwell could be a credible witness. She was once charged with perjury. Her lawyer saying she will always testify truthfully. Perry Russell, ABC News, Washington.
Kids heading back to school in a few weeks. For students and parents, it can be a mix of excitement and nervousness. We talked to a pediatric psychologist about how families can prepare for separation anxiety.
You have to start the conversation before school starts, so you don't want to have it the day of. You want to start a week early. You want to tell them the value of school, why they have to go there, and then kind of orient them to what they'll go through.
That's Dr. Gabriela Nunez. She also says starting a school sleep schedule ahead of time, along with eating well, can help kids feel less anxious. Back to school right around the corner, and to plan a successful school year, maybe the time to gather some new supplies and resources for your child. Organizations across San Antonio hosting events and giveaways for school supplies to provide resources at no cost. The details on the upcoming events, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen. And KSAT also wants to help you get ready for back to school. We're offering one lucky winner a chance to win $500, a gift card, through a special back to school sweepstakes on GMSA. You can enter until noon on August 1st to enter. Search for this giveaway on our website and fill out a form. If you received FEMA aid after the July Texas floods but need more help, you can appeal. However, there's a deadline for that, and it's coming up. Find out what you can do, you or someone you love who was affected. And Texans could face higher power bills as clean energy incentives get cut. Up next, how these changes could impact your wallet and the state's energy future.
Do you
you have a favorite restaurant or a favorite hairstylist? SA Picks is back, and we want to know who you think are the top businesses in the city. There are more than 90 categories to vote on. Just scan the QR code on your screen. You can vote for each category once a day, and you have until August 1st to vote. The finalists will be announced on August 19th, and then there'll be another round of voting from August 20th through September 12th to determine the big winners. We'll announce the winners in late September, so cast your vote now for your favorite business to be recognized as the best in San Antonio. Coming up tonight on the 6 o'clock news, you may have heard about the controversial proposed wastewater treatment plant in northwest Bexar County. Residents have been fighting this for years, but what can you do from home if you don't want this wastewater treatment plant approved? We'll tell you at 6. Plus, weeks after the Hill Country floods, volunteers still by the sides of survivors. People from all over the state sticking around to help wherever they're needed. We introduce you to some of those groups who are in it for the long haul tonight at 6. Texas should brace for higher power bills as tax credit cuts could slow down the boom in wind and solar energy. That's what economists are telling the Texas Tribune. The big, beautiful bill that was passed could shorten deadlines for projects to qualify for incentives, putting thousands of planned jobs and billions in investments at risk. Experts warn this slowdown will mean more reliance on gas plants, pushing electricity prices up. If you applied for FEMA disaster assistance after the July Texas storms and flooding and you didn't feel you received enough aid, you have 60 days to appeal. That's important to understand. You're advised to review FEMA's decision letter carefully, submit additional documents like repair estimates or receipts, along with a signed appeal form. You can send your appeal online, by mail, fax, or in person at a disaster recovery center. For assistance, call the FEMA helpline at 1-800-621-3362. Governor Greg Abbott announcing that the deadline for SNAP recipients to apply for food replacement benefits due to the recent flooding has now been extended through August 18th. The governor said the state is working hard to help families get back on their feet, and making food accessible can offer some relief during these tough times. Replacement benefits will be added to the Lone Star cards within 2 business days. Artist Bob Lombardi raffling off one of his original paintings to support those impacted by the Hill Country floods. That's the painting. The image shared by Bob Lombardi Hill Country Gallery. The inspiration for the painting, Angry River, came to Lombardi as he and many other Texans watched the flooding in the Hill Country. Raffle tickets can be purchased online for $25 each, or 5 tickets for $100. The Together for Texas donation drive still going on. So far, the campaign raised more than $1 million. Thank you so much for your generosity. All of the funds raised will go directly to on-the-ground efforts in flood-affected areas through the Salvation Army. Take a live look outside right now, and we are talking about the heat, possible triple digits, but rain chances also in the offing, Adam.
Yeah, and I've boosted those rain chances a little bit as we've gotten some higher resolution information. And it doesn't surprise me either, just because of the general mentality of the atmosphere lately over the past 3 to even 4 weeks, where it's really been overperforming. So we've boosted rain chances, particularly early Saturday morning. Take a look at them right here. Now, this is for Friday afternoon. You see 1 p.m. at 10%, and then later in the afternoon at 30%. But Saturday morning, a few hours before sunrise, up and through about 10 a.m., we're at 40%, so scattered activity. Here's the situation. Here's what we're watching. The upper level high, the ridge, just nosing its way in still today, keeping us high and dry, nothing but sunshine. But that's going to drift away and open the door for this upper disturbance. And you see all the rain over the Gulf, just off the coast here, but even onshore Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Florida as well. A lot of deep moisture with this system, and some rain-making energy. And it's going to be making its way here by tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow morning, we'll have some sunshine, the showers offshore. By about 3 p.m., that's when the rain starts to move onshore and impacting parts of the Gulf coastline. After 3 p.m., we could see a few showers make their way into San Antonio, but they'd likely be highly isolated and light in nature. Most of the rain tomorrow is going to be in our eastern counties. Lavaca County, Gonzales County, DeWitt County, Victoria, Goliad, and potentially even Gonzales and Karnes counties. That's where we have the highest chance of rain and where you could easily see a quick 1 to 2 inches from those downpours. The energy, however, continues moving westward, and by Saturday in the pre-dawn hours, I do think we have the ingredients around to kickstart scattered downpours at that time. But a few hours before sunrise Saturday, all the way through a few hours after, and that could easily drop a quick 1 to 2 inches. And yes, even into parts of the hill country, we could have a few of those showers, but flooding not anticipated because these would, yes, have some downpours, but be progressive and not sit over the same spot. So here's the available moisture, or precipitable water, as we call it. It's a good measurement of atmospheric moisture, basically throughout the entire troposphere, the lower part of the atmosphere where most of our weather happens. This white and bright green area indicates the very saturated air, and that helps with the rain chances. And notice how that moves in along and east of I-35 tomorrow, and it dissipates a little bit over the weekend, but there's still going to be plenty available to kickstart some showers Saturday afternoon and then Sunday as well. They'll just be isolated, rogue, random pop-up downpours, and most likely shouldn't be problematic and shouldn't lead to flooding, but we could have a quick 1 to 2 inches out of some of them. Reminder, we still need the rain, especially along and south of Highway 90. Now, we did see a little dent in the drought monitor, particularly in Maverick County, Kinney County, and Uvalde County. We'll have a comparison coming up at 6. We did it today. 100 degrees. It's our 4th triple-digit day so far this year, far behind how many we had summers past over the past 3 to 4 summers by this time. 98 right now, dew point 63. So that feels like it's a few degrees warmer than the air temp. Santa Maria at 100 along with Del Rio, Leon Springs, 99, 98 Bulverde, Bernie 95, Windcrest 99, and Lavernia 103. Similar Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, and Pleasanton at 102. 75 in the morning tomorrow, 90 at noon, a lot of sunshine until we get after the noon hour. That's when some of that tropical moisture moves in from the Gulf. Little extra cloud cover. In turn, we'll be in the mid-90s for highs opposed to triple digits tomorrow. And then we trim off a few more degrees, low to mid-90s Saturday and Sunday with those rain chances. Not going to rain all weekend. I'm still firing up the barbecue pit. I'm just going to be ready for a quick douse Saturday morning, then isolated opportunities in the afternoons over the weekend.
A little rain doesn't keep you from your barbecue pit.
Oh, no, sir. Just need a little more oak.
There you go. Thank you, Adam. All right, let's go to Oxnard right now, and we are still learning a lot about the Cowboys' new coach. He likes backward hats. He likes a team that's fired up. He doesn't like fighting, Larry.
No, that is absolutely correct. So when that fight broke out yesterday, he stopped practice, turned off the music. He chewed his guys out and used some choice words. Coach Shoddy told us today that his wife got on him for some of the things that he said. Coming up in just a few moments, Shoddy is going to talk about that scuffle. And like you said, Spreester, he does not condone fighting for several reasons. And C.D. Lamb says George Pickens isn't as crazy as he appears to be. We got it after the break.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Thomas J. Henry.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to Oxnard, California, as we continue to cover Dallas Cowboys training camp. Starting right tackle Terrence Steele did not practice this morning due to an ankle issue, and hopefully it is nothing major at all. After 3 days in a row of doing on-the-field drills, the Cowboys will do a walkthrough tonight before getting off tomorrow. During his morning presser, Shoddy talked about that scuffle from yesterday when Marquise Bell threw a punch, and that is a no-no.
If you throw a punch, you're getting kicked out of the game. And along with that, you're getting fined about $45,000. So do we have the discipline to, when those things happen, not only not throw a punch, but sometimes it's better to go and grab your own guy. Go and grab your player, your brother, and pull him out of the fray so he doesn't do anything messed up. But I love the way they're practicing, but it went too far. And I had warned them before, and I've made it very clear. We're not throwing punches. If you throw a punch, there's going to be a consequence, just like in a game. And you're out of practice. So,
Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is thrilled to be at training camp this year and working out with his guys. Now, he wasn't here last year because he was holding out for a contract extension. Lamb says he likes the boys' wide receiver room against any other in the league and says George Pickens is just a normal guy and not the one portrayed from his days with the Steelers.
He's not as crazy as he seems to be, literally. Like, I seen what y'all seen on film. Like, I trust me. I know what it looks like, but if you talk to this man and have a decent conversation, I guarantee you'll understand that this man is kind of harder. When we get on the field, it's a different beast. I expect him to be an animal, but like when we have an on and off button. GP, I'm glad he's here. He knows I love him the most. I tell him every day I'm happy for him. Hope we go together for X amount of years. I don't care. I just know that we're not going to do this for one.
We've got more Cowboys camp coming up at 6. We'll be right back.
Thanks for watching the News at 5. World News is next. See you right back here at 6.